Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of The Bald Brad Show. I was sitting on my couch last night reading a new book series. And, I go pretty hard when it comes to reading. And sometimes I just need a little bit of a mental break. I'll check my phone, go through your guys' comments that are in my other videos or my shorts, because if you're a member or you're a subscriber, I see your comments first, especially if you're members. And then I was like, I'm going to check my emails. And I was, scrolling. And I get an email from a fellow member and contributor of The Bald Brad Show. And it's about Dan Bongino. And I sat there in silence. And I just keep telling myself, we're winning. Like, everything is being changed right now. And when I found out that Dan Bongino was in, I just said, I don't know what more. I don't know what more Donald Trump could possibly give me through my vote. And I'm calling this phase 3. Phase 1 was Donald Trump securing the border. Phase 2 was Donald Trump putting in DOGE to figure out our budget, start paying off some debt, getting rid of the bureaucracy. That's phase 2. Phase 3 was Kash Patel and Dan Bongino in the FBI. And man, the deep state is effed. The government, the corruption is effed. Dan does not F around. Folks, we got a big show for you today. If you haven't already, hit that like button. It does support us greatly. If it didn't, we would never ask you to do it. But we're jumping into our lead story. We'll get to the Joy Reid one in a moment. This, I already had the show prepped when I got the news last night, but our man, here he is. Dan Bongino is tapped as FBI Deputy Director. Congratulations. Yes, sir. Now, if you're not familiar, our team is very similar to Dan Bongino's team. Our subscribers, our base, the Bald Brad Army is similar to the Bongino Army. There is overlap. Our show is very similar to his. Even my demeanor myself, and it's not intended to be. I don't try to be like Dan. It's just we're like the same guys in a way. I offer something a little bit different than he does. But his team is aware of Bald Brad Show. Thank you to Dylan. When we were live at RNC, so if you weren't aware, we were live during the RNC right next to Steven Crowder on the screens. And that's all thanks to Dylan, by the way, over at Rumble. Dylan did throw our name in to Dan Bongino's team. So again, shout out to Dylan. So they are aware. And now Dylan needs to just help us become part of the Bongino team. I'll take over for a bit. I'd change up a little bit. You know what I mean? I could do Dan's show. I really do feel that way. But conservative commentator and ex-Secret Service agent Dan Bongino has been named Deputy Director of the FBI. This is bonkers. Just bonkers. Great news for law enforcement and American justice. Dan Bongino, a man of incredible love and passion for our country, I would say so, has just been named the next Deputy Director of the FBI by the man who will be the first ever director, Kash Patel. I got goosebumps saying it. That team, man, is just, it really is going to be some wild stuff, folks. And dare I say, when this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious shit. This is going to be crazy. I am all about this, folks. I mean, there's possibilities here that Trump said he wasn't going to do that I think Dan just might do anyways. We're talking Hillary Clinton. We're talking Bill Clinton. We're talking the Epstein files. We're talking the JFK stuff. We're talking about the 9/11 files. We're talking about the corruption that's been going on through this deep state for quite some time. We're talking about the Social Security fraud. We're talking about the embezzlement. We're talking about, hey, how do the Democrats go from having $200,000 a year salary or sometimes $100,000? Oh, now you're a multimillionaire. You got $20, $40 million sitting in the bank. How does that happen? Oh, and it's just been barely 1 month. We have 3 years and 11 months of Dan and Kash just What's next? Really? What is next? What greatness could possibly be bestowed upon us? And I thought about it. I'm like, who can this guy add to his team that's just like, that would blow me away? There's only one cherry wick at the top that would do it for me. It's not going to happen. There's never even been talks of it. If you got Trey Gowdy and Jason Chaffetz with Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, there would be no better team. You would never see a better team in your life. You would never get a better team in your life. And boy, game changer. Great news for law enforcement. This comes from President Trump himself, the man we voted for. And American justice. Dan Bongino, a man of incredible love and passion for our country, has been named the next deputy director of the FBI by a man who will be the best ever director, Kash Patel. Dan has a master's degree in psychology, which I didn't even know about, and an MBA from Penn State. He was a member of the New York Police Department, a highly respected special agent with the United States Secret Service. We wanted him to be tapped as the Secret Service director. I'll take this. And is now one of the most successful podcasters in the country. I'll be tuning in today to see if he's going live and seeing kind of what's the outlook of his podcast here. I know that he has Avita Duffy there, and then he just is bringing in some new blonde girl, but I don't know who's going to take over his slot. Working with our great new United States Attorney General Pam Bondi and Director Patel, fairness, justice, and law and order will be brought back to America. Oh, big time. Oh, freaking big time. And congratulations to his wife, Paula. She is, his bedrock. That woman is strong as you know what. And you got people coming out like Auburn's Bruce Pearl has warning for bad guys as Trump says Dan Bongino will be the FBI director, deputy director. Yeah, I really do think, I don't think this has hit people yet in terms of the bad guys. The FAFO, the fuck around and find out. This is the guy that has it tattooed on him. Now, he doesn't really, but he basically might as well. Dan don't put up with shit, man. And he knows about all this stuff. So it's going to be fascinating to see what he comes out with. And I trust Dan. And Dan put himself in a position of, hey, he says a lot of stuff on his podcast. Now it's time to back it up, baby. And I think he will. He brings the receipts, folks. Congratulations to my friend and great patriot, Dan Bongino. The bad guys best keep their head on a swivel. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's hit that like button for Dan in the chat. Congratulations, Mr. Bongino. You deserve it. And he's serving our country, folks. He said time and time again that, if he got the call from Trump, he doesn't want to go back in government. The guy's killing it as a podcaster. He's probably making millions of dollars a year to go and serve our country. And he might even be doing it without pay. We will see. So we're getting into a lot of news today, folks. We have a lot of different stuff, and I want to make sure I bring it all to you. Before we get into Joy Reid, let's go through a couple other things. Maine's trans sport policy could cost state $100 million in USDA money, Trump admin warns. This went viral over the weekend, and a lot of people during our live stream yesterday were asking me about, did you see Trump talking to Maine's governor? Oh, I did, and it was awesome, and we're going to see it together as a community. The United States Department of Agriculture on Saturday announced that it has initiated a compliance review of the University of Maine, and the state could be in jeopardy of losing $100 million in federal USDA funding over noncompliance with President Trump's executive order to keep males out of female sports. And I'm curious to see if they will actually hold their ground. Well, usually money talks, right? But here's Donald Trump. This is one of the greats. One of the greatest quotes and pushbacks you'll see from Trump. I love it. Here he is.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Oh, he is the best. I woke up this morning in such a good mood. Granted, I've been waking up in a good mood ever since the election. He is the best. Oh, good. Well, I'll see you in court. That should be an easy one. God. The balls. You know what I mean? The I don't give a shit in front of everybody. Marco Rubio was there, RFK Jr., just in front of everybody. Where's Maine? Is that dipshit here? Where's Maine? Yeah, hey, you gonna comply, you idiot? You gonna comply? You gonna lose out on $100 million? Is that what you want? God, I love it. I love it. Oh, it's nice to have a spine back in the White House, you know? To have a backbone. Trump should seriously start thinking about wearing cowboy boots with spurs. With spurs. Just so you know he's coming up on you. And you just hear cling, cling, cling. And that way you know to tighten up. You know, clench the butt cheek because the boss is in. But you know, I think she thinks she's feisty. This is basically a Lori Lightfoot 2.0. This is what she looks like. Oh, what a nice lady, huh? Is that somebody you want babysitting your kids? Jesus, this is what the left does to you, folks. I'm telling you. She's 31. She's 31 years old. Look at that. That's what the left does to you guys. 31. It already looks like she's 65. I'm kidding. I don't know how old she is, but but it is true. The left really does that. I mean, look at Lori Lightfoot. We showed the before and after. Lori Lightfoot actually looked like a human being before she became the mayor of Chicago. And after, I don't mean to be rude, but she could have easily played a zombie in Thriller with Michael Jackson. She could have been Michael Jackson in Thriller when he turned into a zombie. Now people, that's not right. You don't make fun of her looks. Well, you know, somebody has to call out how Republican women just look so much healthier and better than liberal women. So we get the better looking women and the women that had their head on straight and can actually process information correctly. But then you got the lefties that are just horrifying. Not all of them, but most of them. And then they have the personality that's just god awful. You don't even want to be around them. And they go, well, I'm not going to have sex with you anyways. Right? That's what they say all the time. Like they're going to go on a sex strike and everyone's like, oh, okay. Like, all right. Like, thank you. You know what I mean? Okay. Well, their brain doesn't work, you know? So here's everything Trump has been doing. Again, if you're just joining us, Trump has, in fact, initiated phase 3 of the grand agenda, and that is Kash Patel linked up with the great, the gladiator, dare I say, Dan Bongino. And, dude, I got goosebumps again just thinking about that force, man, that duo, that tag team. I'm hesitant to just be too giddy right now. It hasn't fully hit me yet. I am as giddy. I just bought Girl Scout cookies. And I'm giddy. Let's see what Trump has done. Daytona 500, he did his victory lap. DOGE 1.5, recovering $1.5 billion in a Department of Housing and Urban Development. Just finding money everywhere. Just everywhere. Consistent with President Trump's instructions, all federal employees will shortly receive an email requesting to understand what they have done last week. We'll get more into this a little bit later. But the Trump administration could soon fire hundreds more federal employees. Thousands have already been fired or taken a buyout offer from the government. This is kind of similar. Musk has done this where he would do 5-minute roundtables basically, or less. Maybe it might even been a minute, where you had to not only, I think, tell them what you did that last week or what you're going to do, but why is your job important? Why you're basically advocating why your job should be kept, which I don't think is a bad thing to do, because you're able to figure out the waste. If somebody can't explain their job and why it's important to the company to keep going, that's probably not somebody you want to keep as an employee. Now, I could do that with my job. My job's important because there's nobody else in the department that wants to teach what I teach. AP statistics is one of the harder maths. It's also one of the harder maths to fill in because a lot of people don't like to teach statistics and don't know statistics very well. And I do my job very well, where on average, my students get about an 82 to 85% on average grade every single year. I also contribute back to teaching about finance. I teach them about accounting in the class. That's not something a lot of people have knowledge about. And that's something that, since half my students are business majors with, that they're able to inculcate those values through me into them that will help them be successful in college as well. Just really quick. There you go. You're not going to find another person to teach it that's going to do as good a job as me. It's a hard subject to teach. And I'm also going above and beyond by teaching them about personal finance and things they're going to need to know when they go into business school in the next few months, because I have mostly seniors. There you go. Which is all true, by the way. That's not me pulling that out of my booty. Education. The president stunned the room when he told Maine's governor to face that her state would not get any federal funding. And I hope they don't. Cut it off anyways. She wanted to play hardball, kind of like the president of Mexico. Well, this is where you F around and find out really quick. She'll bend the knee. She'll kiss the ring. She will. War in Ukraine. We're going to get to this a little bit later. Big developments. Zelensky's come out and said, look, if it helps with negotiations, then I'll resign as president. Mind you, they were supposed to have elections last year. And they go, well, we're in the middle of a war, so we can't do it. We were in World War II. We held elections. The White House was burned down. We held elections. Trump spoke at the Saudi-backed investment conference in Miami, where he thanked Saudi Arabia for hosting this week's talks between Russia and the United States on ending the war in Ukraine. Rumor is, folks, there could be a actual resolution to this war by the end of this week. This is what they're saying. We'll get to it. I'm kind of jumping ahead here. Trump also criticized Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, saying that while Russia invaded Ukraine, Zelensky is not doing enough to strike a deal. Correct. I've been watching him negotiate with no cards. He has no cards, and you get sick of it. It's almost like I said that exact same thing about a week ago, where Zelensky, and I'll even tell you when I said it, and I use the same analogy, by the way, and you guys were all here with it. Me and Trump on the same freaking field right now in terms of negotiations. Zelensky was complaining that he wasn't a part of the negotiation in Saudi Arabia. And I said, what cards do you have? You don't have anything. So why are you complaining that somebody that's completely footing the bill for you, at least in terms of proportions, is the one that's negotiating to resolve this whole thing? What are you going to negotiate with? Your land? That's it. They want your land. You lose it. There you go. There's your negotiation. You have nothing to offer. The United States has everything to offer. What is that offering? Well, not putting Ukraine in the NATO. We'll pull back the advancement so Putin feels a little bit more secure and safe and doesn't have NATO crawling up his ass. Maybe some energy, maybe remove some sanctions, allow the Russian, not government, but economy to prosper. Maybe get rid of some tariffs or negotiate some sort of trade deal in terms of energy or goods and services. Who knows? What is Ukraine going to offer? Fertilizer? Exactly. Immigration's been going on, and then there's other actions as well. I mean, Donald Trump is in full force, folks, and we love to see it. This is exactly what we paid for. This is exactly what we're paying for. Granted, we're not paying Donald Trump because he's not taking a check, but this is exactly what we voted for. How about that? There you go. I mean, we are paying a lot of these people, but you understand what I mean. We got some breaking news most recently. Elon Musk just announced DOGE will launch an investigation into federal employees using high net worth despite modest salaries. Yeah, baby. Yes. I want more investigations than this. This is purely talking about the Democrats, where the Democrats, like I mentioned, have $100,000 salary, but yet they're creeping into $30 million wealth, $50 million. Like, where are they getting all this money from? It's really weird. It's odd. So this is something that should be looked into. And by the way, I still want all those people that were cashing these checks through Social Security, or at least on the rolls. I want to figure out who they were. I want to figure out their family members. I want to know what's going on and how much money they stole, if they stole any of it. There's two options. You go to prison or you do full back pay. I want to check as of tomorrow. And guys, I'm as serious as a heart attack, man. I ain't screwing around here. It seems like that part's satirical. No, I'm dead serious. You either go to prison for life because I'm that pissed about it, or you do full back pay for the rest of your life. You don't just get to steal the government's money, the taxpayer money, and do some BS fraud like that. And I guarantee you that money probably went off to a lot of other countries. I guarantee you that probably went off to like the Taliban or Iranians or the Houthis, Hamas, or some tribe in Africa that's getting some, education services, which we saw on tape, by the way. I didn't just make that one up. People are stealing our money. And I'm pissed about it. This is phase 2, DOGE. Phase 2, phasure. So Trump has Elon Musk heading this whole thing. And Dem senators, well, they're not going to be able to escape Elon Musk, man. He's going to be asking what they done last week. So Elon Musk, who's overseeing the Trump administration's Department of Government Efficiency, took aim at Democrats in Congress after he revealed on Saturday that federal employees would receive an email requesting they explain what they'd done in the past week. And here's the thing. These people are too stupid to realize that this guy could probably go find out actually what they did. They'll write something up, right? They'll BS something. Oh, I did this and this. Really? Can you show? Where's the proof? See, this is what they do, right? What you find is people that are stupid, they'll make something up without having to think about, okay, how does that unravel into the different variables of me potentially getting caught? And so they'll say they did something and they'll say, okay, prove it. They're not able to prove it. Well, you're fired now. So this is the tweet that we just read. But Senator Tina Smith, a Democrat from Minnesota, I believe, who recently announced she would not run for re-election, shared a screenshot of Musk's post and said, this is the ultimate dick boss move from Musk, except he isn't even the boss. He's just a dick. Ooh. You know what's a dick move, Senator? Is your branch, your party, I should say branch, but your party is shelling out money to send condoms to Mozambique or to trans dolphins in the Pacific or to do something stupid, part of transing, sending your money everywhere for something, or climate change. Yeah, that's a pretty big dick move to spend people's money that way. So a guy that's asking to see if somebody's efficient in their job, no, that's called being a boss. That's called making sure that your employees are being held accountable for the work that they're being paid for. Guess what? I get the same thing all the time. I get reviews. I have people walking in my room to observe me to make sure I'm doing my job. I have actual receipts to prove that I'm doing my job. I have to do lesson plans every single day to show what I'm doing at work. I have to fill out documentation. I have to respond to the emails. I actually do my job. I show up to work. So I got no qualms with my boss saying, hey, what are you doing? Matter of fact, my boss last week, no shit, on Friday, as I'm leaving, goes, hey, are you going to be teaching next week? And I was stunned because I didn't know what to say. And I'm not hounding her. I love her as a boss. But I said, well, yeah, I'm teaching next week. And she goes, oh, I want to come in and observe. I said, you're more than welcome to come in at any time to observe. You don't have to tell me. Just walk in. And most admin do. Why? Because it's a way to see as a boss if the person is actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. Go figure. What did you get done last week is his response. I love that. I love that. The guy sits there and freaking, she didn't do anything, Elon. Nothing. She's siphoning from the government teat. It's one thing if you're going to siphon. It's another thing if you actually get something done. I hate to break it to you, but you aren't my boss. No, the American people are, and you completely effed them, and you gave them a double middle finger by spending their money in different ways. So here we go. You got Senator Patty Murray. Spending isn't a conspiracy just because Musk doesn't know how to read usspending.gov. A program isn't waste just because it doesn't help the richest man in the world. This is how they think, man.
You can agree or disagree about federal spending. Goodness knows. We have a lot of debates on it here. But it is a complete lie to try and say this is all fraud, waste, or conspiracy. As a longtime appropriator, I can tell you, we debate these bills publicly. We post the details out in the open.
I gave us a spin wheel. That's okay. None of us want to hear about her anyways. I'd rather hear this from Mike. Mike with the $10 over at YouTube. Hear about Springsteen and De Niro jumping ship in Canada. Don't know about you, Brad, but I see a trend with assuming child predators fleeing like cockroaches. Trump better get them fast. Great comment, Mike. And there might be some truth to that. Who knows? With the Epstein list coming out, with Bongino, I mean, hey, look at what we're seeing in Washington, D.C. They're having a housing market crash because there's so much supply now that they're all fleeing out of D.C. They're all getting out. They're all leaving their jobs. Like this lady, where'd she go? This lady, Tina Smith, she all of a sudden wants to get up and walk away from the government teat. Jackie Heinrich, our Wonder Woman, baby. Here she is. The email does not state that failure to respond will be taken as resignation, meaning workers would not know unless they saw Elon's tweet. We'll see. We will see. But you got Dan Bongino in there. You got Kash Patel. It's going to start sweeping and cleaning house at the FBI. And I love to see it. I love to see it. They're going to have to determine their productivity, and it might face termination. And that stuff's important, man. It's really, really important. Let's get to a little bit more news here in terms of the mainstream media losing it. The mainstream media, their heads are just popping off. I mean, to the point where they're being fired, they're being called out. All sorts of stuff is taking place. But you might be wondering, Brett, how do you have so much energy? You wake up at like 4:30 in the morning. How do you get out here with the wheels spinning? Well, I'll tell you. Do you enjoy the free speech that Rumble is protecting and fighting for? Our show on Rumble is only possible thanks to your viewers supporting Rumble's platform by purchasing Rumble's products. I have so much energy because we're a morning show. And most of us drink coffee every single morning, which is what I've been wetting my whistle with. That's why you have to try Rumble's 1775 coffee. My mouth starts salivating whenever I say it. It's actually some of the best coffee, and it's the same price as the coffee you already get now. But it's way better. You're getting a better product for the same price. Rumble's 1775 coffee is free from chemicals, yet rich in flavor. They source their beans, folks, from these high-altitude farms in Bolivia, and then they hand pick them, ship them to their facility in Miami, and they roast them weekly. And then right after they're done being roasted, they deliver them fresh to your doorstep. They're almost still piping warm when they get to your doorstep. And as believers in freedom, buying from Rumble helps fight back against woke corporations like Starbucks and donuts. Join the coffee revolution and brew rebellion with Rumble 1775 coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com, use promo code STUDIO, and you get a free month supply of the cognitive boosting supplement Limitless when you buy 2 bags of their coffee. Think about that, folks. That's actually a crazy deal because the supplement alone is worth more than the 2 bags of coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com and try their amazing brew, their amazing coffee, their amazing beans. And that's what we'll be sipping right now real quick. Oh, man. I love it. And I brew mine extra thick, like molasses. I love my coffee like mud. I don't add cream or sugar. How else do you think you get this beard? See, what will happen, though, you'll lose this up here, but you'll go all right here. You'll lose your hair, but it's okay. All right. Well, you still have this going on. This knucklehead. Margaret Brennan, I think we'll continue to see her for the next 4 years. See, I don't think we really noticed how stupid she was because we had to deal with Karine Jean-Pierre. Now we get this knucklehead. CBS host Margaret Brennan seemingly urges Democrat governor to fight Trump in courts. I think we have the clip. Let me see if I could scroll down here. Let's get it. So New York Governor Kathy Hochul, just to give you context here, says she will cooperate with other Democratic governors to push back on Trump's administration efforts to target some of their policies. We're not going to sit back and let their rights be attacked. Oh, God.
You Democratic governors going to start to work together on this? Is there legal pushback?
What he is doing is, they've described it as flooding the zone. They're attacking California when it comes to FEMA dollars. They're filing lawsuits in Illinois. They're going after Maine on this, and they're coming after programs that have been duly put in place in the state of New York. What they're trying to do is create this theater of all kinds of activity that is trying to be a distraction to us. And when someone floods the zone in a football game, what you need to have is the defenders be very disciplined, smart, but also stand their ground. And that's exactly what New York governors, the governor of New York will do in cooperation with our governors. We're not going to sit idly by and let our rights be attacked. We'll work with you when there's common ground. No doubt.
I don't know why this keeps happening. I actually do want to figure out what the heck she's saying.
Let's build great projects and infrastructure. There's areas where we're going to work with you on immigration and getting the violent criminals off our streets. We do not dispute that. But don't think that you can just come in and bully us around and not expect a reaction from governors.
All of a sudden, they want to get the criminals off the streets. All of a sudden, they want to get the violent illegal immigrants off the streets. That's weird, right? All of a sudden, oh, we want to work with you all of a sudden. Where was this work wanting to be done with us in 2016? Give me a break. Give me a break. She goes, they're attacking California when it comes to FEMA dollars. we did a live stream of watching Trump basically do a town hall with Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, who I've met before. She's an idiot. And she said, oh, you can get back on your property tonight. Folks, this was like a month and a half ago. Less than a month, right? Because it only hasn't been in office for a month. For the Palisades fires. Oh, you can come back tonight and start cleaning up your stuff. They still have not been able to step foot on their property. Those people that had their houses burned down, that's just the ash. There's nothing left. It's not even smoldering anymore. We've had like 2 rainfalls already. Yeah, they still can't get on their property and remove anything. And then she goes, well, it's not going to take 18 months to get permits, or 18 weeks, however long the stupid thing was. No, it's still there. So she lied. She lied. I think we should be messing around with the FEMA dollars, because where's it going? Where's all that money going? Why is there not garbage trucks out there right now? Why was there not garbage trucks out there the next night? They're filing lawsuits in Illinois. They're going after Maine on this. And they're coming after programs that have been duly put in place in the state of New York. Well, the people don't want it, Kathy. In the same way, they don't want to be pushed in front of a subway in New York while they're trying to go to work, because you can't run the place. And quite frankly, neither can Mayor Eric Adams over there, because they're idiots. They've ran New York into the ground. They've ran California into the ground. They're running Maine into the ground. Every Democrat ran area, they're running it into the ground. And Democrats love it, by the way. That's why they stay there. Or in some cases, if it gets really bad, they actually move because they don't want to shit and sleep in the same bed. They would love to destroy your city, and then they'll come and move to your city and destroy that one. And that's what they do. It's a virus. That's why I said Trojan horse, how the left is destroying America. I originally actually wasn't going to be a Trojan horse. I was actually talking about a virus. I think the leftist ideology is a virus, and it's cancerous, and it's deadly. And what's the case in point? The Democrat ran areas. Look how it is. Violent crime, people being murdered, stabbed, the smash and grabs, the looting that's taking place, the fires. They can't do anything right. What do they do right? I've lived here my entire life, and I do mean this in every little sense. I can't think off the top of my head a single thing Newsom does that is correct. That's a problem, and I would love to. I would really love to say, oh, this is what he's doing right. No. He does everything wrong. Everything he touches is all fake. The guy's fake. Look at his face. Somebody else that's fake here. This is what all of you were asking about yesterday, and I did see it. Yes, I did. Yes. Well, MSNBC axes Joy Reid's show after ratings yo-yo. Yes. Ah. Oh, boy. Who they're bringing in proves they've learned nothing. Of course. I'm not shocked with that one. It's just like CNN, right? All these companies are basically owned by the same people. That's why they all spew the same nonsense. Let's get into this a little bit here. MSNBC is axing far left host Joy Reid's 7 p.m. show, basically prime time. You almost can't get a better slot. It's called The Readout. See what they did there? Joy Reid, The Readout. Ooh. From a lady that can't probably read. Mind you, I can't really read that well either. As ratings flip-flop in the wake of President Donald Trump's second inauguration, but if the batters on deck take Reid's place or any indication, the network has no interest in embracing an ideological shift. This is how dumb they are, and I've said it time and time again. It's not about money. It's about the agenda. It's about the ideology. It's about the narrative, and they will sink and sink and sink. And they will never wake up to the fact, and I hope it keeps going, because then they'll have to sell off MSNBC, and maybe Elon or somebody else will buy it. We can actually get another conservative outlet out there other than maybe Fox. Variety reported that Reid's final episode is set to air in the last week of February. God, they're going to really trail it out that long, huh? We got to deal with another week of this idiot. Maybe we'll get some good commentary from her. Other reports indicate, I can't even say it with a straight face, you know? People watch it. People watch this, man. It's crazy. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. All right, where were we? Other reports indicate that Reid, much like former CNN anchor Jim Acosta, planned to leave the network entirely because nobody likes you guys. You lie. You're scumbags. You promulgate a bunch of falsehoods. And then when nobody wants to watch them, then they wonder, how could it be? People watch my show because at least I'm authentic. I give you my opinion and I tell you that I'm biased. And I go, hey, you know, you don't have to like my opinion, but I try to be the common man. You know what I mean? I try to be the common average Joe American where it's like, yeah, you know what? I don't want women being raped. I would like those illegals that are murdering and raping women to be gone. I would like to not have my kids doing drugs. I want people to prosper. Like, it's pretty simple stuff. Not like what they're pushing. They're going, yeah, I want your kids to be trans. I want them to have to walk through homeless encampments to get to school and maybe step on a needle and they get freaking typhus or some stupid crap. Yeah, I want them to be having their genitals lopped off. Like all that weird stuff. We don't do that here. They want, oh, you know, Trump's a racist. I don't think he's racist. I don't like racism. None of us like racism. We speak obvious truths here. Obvious truths. They don't. Alex Wagner, who hosts weeknights at 9 p.m. except for Mondays, hosted by longtime network star. Yeah, right. Rachel Maddow is also out. Yes. But reports also indicate that despite the shakeup, the network is not going to change the direction anytime soon. Sliding into Reid's slot on Mondays will be the trio that currently hosts The Weekend on Saturday and Sunday mornings. Simone Sanders Townsend and previously worked for Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign and former President Joe Biden's 2020 campaign, in addition to former Vice President Kamala Harris, Republican National Committee Chairman Michael Steele, who will be sliding progressively leftward since leaving the party. So they go, hey, the people couldn't handle one lefty. So let's put in 3 of them at the same time. They'll love it. Oh, shit. I mean, you can't make this up. They're literally going, yeah, she wasn't enough. Her leftist policies weren't enough, so we're going to put in 3 hardcore progressives. And then they'll really love it. It's really going to work. Oh, they deserve what's coming to them. They're just idiots. So I have a few of some of her greatest hits, if that's okay with you guys. Kind of take a trip down memory lane with some of her great stuff. So here's a throwback to when Joy Reid suggested that Trump surviving the shooting and going immediately to the RNC was exactly the same as Joe Biden beating COVID.
Question that I have on that. These 2 men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
It should.
I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
It should.
There is more of a higher IQ in these coffee mugs than there is sitting at that panel. Your hair blow dryer has more brain power than Joy Reid. Holy lordy. It's a remarkable thing. You would think that we're done with her. No, we're not. Folks, she went on to claim that part of the price to be minority in the MAGA movement is to take the humiliation
of MAGA-dom, particularly if you are a person of color, is to take the humiliation. You know, I mean, Nikki Haley was not even invited. She was ostentatiously disinvited from this convention, yet she still said, I pledge all my delegates to Trump. This guy,
and then they reversed it, and they did invite her again.
Tim Scott humiliated himself daily, and then has continued to do so on this stage. I'm stunned and sad for him in the display he just did. But the humiliation of Tim Scott is part of the game, and it's part of the price.
God, man. It's like, it gets worse. I don't know how much to show you. I got 2 more clips. I'm going to show you these 2 more clips. So here she's suggesting that the criminal cases brought against Trump is racially based vengeance by black officials. Go DEI. My DEIs are bringing it home.
There is something wonderfully poetic about the fact that despite the fact that even if convicted, he's not going to go to prison, the first person to actually criminally prosecute Donald Trump is a black Harvard grad,
Jesus.
The very kind of person that his former staff, the people who worked for him, Stephen Miller, et cetera, want to never be at Harvard Law School. But he was. And he came out and graduated. And he's prosecuting you, Donald. And a black woman is doing that same exact thing in Georgia. And a black woman forced you to pay a $175 million fine that's out now also in question because the people who put it up, that might not be legit. Donald Trump is being held to account.
Yeah, is this cultural appropriation? A lot of you are commenting on the weird hair. Is this cultural appropriation? Because I was told that white girls aren't allowed to braid their hair, even though it's from the Vikings. Technically, black people stole it from the Vikings, the cornrows. Is this, it's not possible to have blonde hair. Is this cultural appropriation?
By the very multicultural, multiracial democracy that he's trying to dismantle. And for me, there's something poetic and actually wonderful about that. It says something good about our country that we're still capable of having that happen. Go DEI. My DEIs are bringing it home on today.
She was DEI, and she's getting fired. She got fired because of DEI because she sucks at her job. It turns out that every time somebody hires, for the most part, somebody that's DEI, it doesn't work out so well. Here she is. She compares Chip Roy of Texas, who we love, by the way, he's a fiscal conservative, called to protect the southern border to the sole Southerners who said that they will resist integration by any means.
And very quickly, this massive resistance, it sounds like the old Southerners who said that we will resist integration by any means necessary, that Chip Roy language. How does that read inside of the Latino community?
I mean, it's very simple. You know, if you're the Republican Party, you're allegedly the party of laws and order, and you're essentially telling local authorities to break the law. No, so I think once again, going into this image of, you know, who is the party of law and order and who is the party for democracy, I think that's where we all have to highlight the hypocrisy, regardless of the politics. They're essentially telling people to break the law.
You guys understand why the left are out of their minds and they go to the streets and they spew this nonsense? It's because they watch shows like that. Well, the Republican Party isn't the party of law and order. Have you not just got done living through the last 4 years of Joey, where he legitimately didn't execute the laws in the books? That's why a lot of people had a problem with what he was doing, because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. There's terrorists here. There's drug traffickers. We always say it. Violent gang member. I mean, the whole gambit's here. We have like 100 different, we got people from 190 different nations here, lady. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But they'll twist their way into pretzels and some weird stuff like that. Oh, I thought Trump almost said my name for a second. I saw Brian Roberts and I was like, oh my God, Trump tweeted me out. Am I taking over Dan's show? That's what I thought for a second. My heart dropped. Like, whoa, the president knows me. Well, here's some other stuff that's taking place. Omar's remarks on stupidity ignite controversy. So U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar, who is against this country, by the way, I think you have a traitor here, and I'm serious. I think she's a traitor. I wouldn't be surprised at some point if she was giving out national secrets and stuff like that and selling them off, doing some weird stuff. Well, she made remarks during an interview where she expressed frustration with the decline of intellectual debate in Congress. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's because you're there. Maybe she stepped in front of a mirror. She highlighted the challenges in engaging in meaningful discussions due to what she perceived as an increase in stupidity among politicians. I actually agree with you. It's just most of them come from the Democrat Party. Her comments have stirred controversy, leading to reactions from the public and other politicians, with some calling for her deportation. Wow. Omar has previously faced scrutiny for her statements and actions. I think this is where she said it.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people, because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again? These people are just idiots. I really.
So if you don't realize, she's talking about us. I do think those that register Democrat that are part of the progressive left, I do think they're idiots. I throw the word Democrat around a lot because people go, well, you're talking about half the country. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm talking about registered Democrats that are progressive left. There's no progressive party in the United States. So when I say Democrats, I'm talking about the progressive left. I don't want to keep going all the lefty this, progressive left that, because it's to me it's actually too vague. Because the left are part of the Democrat Party, and that's why the Democrat Party has moved further left. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, folks, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're new here, well, welcome. Hop in the live chat. Hang out with us over at Rumble, YouTube. You can follow us on X. But we got a lot of people that are engaging in the chat here. If you haven't seen already, see if I can get that up for y'all. We got a lot of people engaging in the chat. I'm always reading it. You can see them all here. A lot of regulars would love to engage with you. Shout out to Mark. That looks like a new name. And that's over at Rumble. And then we got YouTube right here. And you come hang out with us. So that's there for you guys. Oh, we got a read here. Oh, here we go. From Steven, Dan Bongino is worth over 100 million and has like 14% share in Rumble. The guy is killing it. Thank you, Steven. And you get highlighted here as I'm going through this. So shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. The guy has a lot of money. He's wealthy. He should put money into the Bald Brad Show. Oh, I missed Mike as well. Oh, I got, Brad's a knucklehead all the time, or at times, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Mike. Mike's coming in with the $2. So now 12 altogether. Thank you, sir. Hopefully I didn't miss it. I missed a couple, man. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else. Let me take a moment here. This is important. Oh, okay. If I miss somebody, let me know. I apologize. All right, well, let's get into Zelensky here. As you see, if you haven't already hit that like button, please do so. And like I mentioned, if you're new here, well, welcome. We'd love to highlight you in the chat, so let us know if you're new. Zelensky signals he will resign if he brings war to end, puts Ukraine in NATO. This guy doesn't get it. This guy doesn't get it. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said on Sunday that he is willing to resign from office if it means the war is brought to an end and his country is admitted into NATO. You notice it's an and statement, that they both have to be conditions of him resigning. So well, I guess one of them has to be a condition for him to resign, but you understand what I mean, is that your country's not going to be part of NATO. Russia's not going to allow it. That's why he said that. That's why he knew he threw his pee-pee on the table and goes, look how big I am. If you let us join NATO, I'll resign and I'll step down. I'll be the hero. Knowing full well that Russia ain't ever going to cave to that. That ain't going to happen. He was asked at a press conference if he was ready to resign if it means that peace can be brought to the region after a 3-year war. If it guarantees peace in Ukraine, if you really need me to resign, I am ready, he said. I can exchange it for NATO. Well, I mean, how about you exchange it for a vote? Because you're supposed to have a vote last year, and it didn't happen. But yet you're supposed to be a democracy. Yeah, they claim to be a democracy. Remember, Ukraine has been corrupt, you guys, for over a decade. Remember Shokin, the prosecutor in Ukraine? That's what he was looking into, was the corruption of what was going on with the Ukrainian government and said businesses after. And that's why through that prosecution with Shokin in Ukraine looking for corruption, that's how Burisma Holdings got brought up. And then he was looking into Burisma Holdings because Hunter Biden was on the chair or on the board of that. And he had his father, Joe Biden, as vice president, and they were working negotiation and deals together. And that's when the quid pro quo came out. Some people say it's not a quid pro quo, but Biden comes out on camera and says, hey, you better fire that guy or you're not getting the $1 billion. Well, Zelensky now comes out after this whole ordeal, right? And does this. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has publicly stated that the $100 billion received from all of us is sending him actually we sent him like $350 billion, but $100 billion from the United States was provided as a grant, not a loan. He's saying basically, yeah, screw you guys. You're not getting your money back, thereby refuting any claims of a financial debt to the United States. This clarification comes amidst discussions around a potential U.S.-Ukraine mineral deal. Trump has talked about that, where Zelensky has shown reluctance to consider such an agreement as repayment for the aid received. He emphasized that any financial support from the United States under President Biden's administration was intended as a non-repayable aid. I thought this was all loans. I didn't think this was just money out the door. Clearly, I'm an idiot. I've been living under a rock. I was always under the impression we're lending this money to you and maybe a long-term payback. Granted, I didn't expect him to pay it back, but I would love some sort of repayment.
Я знаю, що у нас було 100. І це факт. Я не збираюсь визнавати 500. Хто б що не говорив, як би ми не спілкувались. При всій повазі, ще раз, при всій повазі до партнерів, але, я стійко стою, тому що це правдива ситуація. Абсолютно ми праві. І друга ситуація, якщо чесно, навіть 100 мільярдів я не готовий фіксувати. Поясню чому. Поясню чому. Тому що ми не маємо визнавати гранти як борги. Подобається це чи не подобається? Я домовлявся з Байденом і домовлявся з Конгресом Сполучених Штатів Америки. Я вдячен Конгресу. Це була присутність двох партій і підтримка. Я знаю, що у нас було.
You heard it from the horse's mouth. Shout out to Chris M7. He said, just started hanging out here for the past month. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. It's cool to see you in the live chat as well. Appreciate you. Thank you for everybody that's new here. We got a lot of new people. We've been running ads, so it's nice to see everybody. And we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, folks. We're growing this year. Will we reach our goal? I don't know. Right now, we'll probably hit 85,000. I don't know about 100,000. We'd have to double our advertising budget to get that. And I mean that all a little. Actually, we would literally have to double it. So that's what's going on with Zelensky stealing our money. And yeah, we need to get out now. Folks, I know that you know this, but these people have gone so long with taking our money that they think they're big and powerful. They've gone so long with us rubbing their shoulders that they think they're somebody. They're nobodies. It's kind of like Mexico. They think they've gone so long with nothing happening to them that they think there's some superpower. And this is our fault as a nation because we allowed it to happen. We allowed these countries to push us around and pretend like they're superpowers when in actual reality, you're only really looking at United States, Russia, and China as the superpowers. We're the ones that push people around, but we haven't been doing that. And now that Donald Trump's back in office and he starts pushing people around because we're the superpower, all of a sudden, he's the bad guy. No, you guys are just at the bottom of the totem pole, and maybe you need to fall in line real quick, or else you're going to start losing money. And I'm telling you, they're going to F around and find out. They will bend the knee. They always bend the knee to Donald Trump. They will bend the knee to the United States of America because we're the superpower, and we've been paying for the defense. Europe should be stepping up to the plate. You want to know the crazy part of all this? You know how he's talking about, we just sent $350 billion or however much money to him? That's not a loan. Yeah, you just gave it to us. It was charity. Well, Europe sent him $100 billion, and that was a loan. So Europe's money was a loan. Our money, we just threw at it. Bye, gone, never going to see it again. And he's going, we're not going to do anything in return. Oh, you guys, he just gave you the double middle finger. Not only that, but he lifted up his feet. He was lifting up his feet and he was like showing his toes, right? And he was flipping you off with his toes. He gave you 4 middle fingers right there. That's what he did. Cut him off today. What's sad is because he's an idiot, now, more people have to die because he's an idiot. Here's the big news here. And I hope Witkoff's right here. U.S. and Ukraine expected to sign deal this week. I hope so, man. People need to stop dying. I don't care what side of the fight you're on. It's the same thing with Israel and the Palestinians. I don't care what side you're on. I just want people to stop dying, man. This is crazy. Especially as somebody my age that if there was a draft or a war, I'd probably still be sent off. I don't want that. Young men are dying, man. Young men, all that life, wasted. For what? And Trump echoed this. For what What did they die for? I mean, I know what they died for. They're fighting over land. That's literally it. Putin wants the land back. So these souls, these people, these young men lost their life for fucking dirt. White House Special Envoy Steve Witkoff said over the weekend that a deal is close to being made where the United States will secure mineral rights in Ukraine in exchange for continued security assistance. I don't like that deal. Witkoff made the remarks during Sunday's CNN interview on State on Ukraine. He said that the blank checks that the Biden administration was giving to Ukraine are over, especially in light of the deals that other European countries had put in place. The president came in office and lo and behold, what did he find out? That we are the majority share of aid to Ukraine, which doesn't make sense because Europe is right on the doorstep there. They're the ones that should be funneling more money than us. As Trump always said, and he is right, we have a gigantic ocean between us. They're in more shit than we are, and maybe they should start funneling a little bit more money. But again, when you've been a pussy forever, meaning the United States, well, now you have these other countries that just think that we're gonna cover the expenses for all of them, and they get to flourish, right? They have no problems. They get to flourish, and then our economy gets to crumble. And by the way, they're all backed by the dollar. They're idiots. God, man, it drives me up a wall. So we'll see if that deal is struck. But, I don't like that deal. I don't want to keep giving them assistance, quite frankly. I want them to realize that they're never going to beat Russia. Ukraine was never going to beat Russia. We need to strike a deal to end this, and it needs to happen this week. I don't want to keep giving them assistance. I'm done giving them assistance. They've already given me the double middle finger and say, look, we don't give a shit what you guys say. We're taking your money and said done deal. That's fine. Then no more money for you. No more money, no more assistance, and you'll get your shit pushed in. I'm not wrong. Let's do this, folks. You always love, and everybody that's here is usually like huge supporters of the Bald Brad Show. So that's why I usually do this read at the end, and we love them. Are you ready to show your support and style, folks? We got Sticker Mule. You guys love this, and I love giving it to you, and I love being sponsored by them. Sticker Mule has a fantastic offer just for you. For a limited time, you can grab free Trump stickers. Yes, you heard that correctly. Free. And you guys have been grabbing these up. This is why they keep sponsoring us. You guys are grabbing these up like hotcakes. Whether you want to decorate your laptop, car, or office space, these quality stickers, durable stickers, are perfect for making statements. Folks, you don't have to put them on your car. You can put them on presents, birthday gifts, all that stuff. It's really, really fun. You can decorate things with it and send them off to people, especially Trump supporters. Just imagine how great they'll look, and they're super easy to apply. So here's how it works. Just head over to stickerpack.com, sign up, and claim your free stickers, and watch the fun unfold. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Stock is limited, and it goes fast, so act fast. Spread the word and let your voice be heard with Sticker Mule's awesome stickers. Once again, visit stickerpack.com today and grab your free Trump stickers before they're gone. You also see the QR code on the screen. They go fast, you guys, really. So start scanning that now. Leave it up for a couple more seconds so you can grab that QR code. I love, like I said, I love putting them on wrapping paper for people's gifts. Even if it's a Democrat, I absolutely love it. I always get the kicks and giggles out of it. It's great. It's absolutely phenomenal. And they get something out of it too. If they don't, they don't like Trump, so they get to tear it up. They go, oh, this is fun. Well, we had more stuff to cover. We didn't get to it, but I got through all the meat that I wanted to, all the important stuff. You got Dan Bongino, Phase 3 in effect, folks, with Kash Patel. March is going to be a crazy month. I think this year, 2025, is going to be crazy with the FBI. You got Trump securing the border. You also have DOGE coming out. You're going to see a lot of movement in this first year, and thank God. The Lord is working through Donald Trump right now to save America and make America great again, folks. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Hit that like and subscribe button, and come in the chat more often. You see Chris. We got Mark in here as well. We got Nola here, Johnny, Ronald, Cindy. I mean, there's a lot of new names here, folks, even if they've been here for maybe a month or less. It's good to see you guys in the chat. Mike with another $5. He says, in other words, I don't want to resign. I'll cling to my power for fear life, but if I have to leave, if disingenuous, but do what you expect. Correct? I have nothing to add to that. Gigi is here. Cindy, Little Onion. I mean, everybody's here. I just want to appreciate you guys and give you guys shout outs for always joining the show, especially newcomers. I would love for a way to, if somebody's new to the show, that they can get highlighted and, you know, feel involved, because that's what this community is all about. We got one of the best communities on Rumble and YouTube. So, and again, I go in other people's chats, you guys. You've seen me in some of your chats that you guys watching other podcasters. I'm telling you right now, I'm not trying to just, you know, build you up, but we do have one of the best communities here. And it's awesome. I want to keep that going. We'll be back here tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Lordy, I almost forgot the time of our show. Monday through Friday here on the Bald Brad channel, folks. I'll see you later. Hit that like and subscribe. Check out our website, baldbrad.com. And we have a book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. Phenomenal read. Buy a copy at Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Patriots. I'll see you later. Take care.